Hi guys, welcome to Code Decode. So, as we are all aware about the undeniable fact out there that is COVID 19, which has pushed each of us in a quarantine and lockdown situation, it's easy for us to feel bored in these four walls. Isn't it the time when we can start learning new programming languages as a step towards shaping our future and do something productive? So in this video, I'll tell you about 5 programming languages that you can learn in this period, and simultaneously I'll share some online coding platforms too, which are available online out there where you can directly run your code and you don't have to set up all the workspace for the same. So are you with me? Let's get started with this video. The very first language we will be discussing will be Java. So this is the language you can learn or enhance, and it is the most common backend languages you can find out there. So for Java, I have shown you one playlist which is something related to my code, but you can also get out into the internet and try the documentation of Java which is available. But if you are not that readable person, you can try these videos I have uploaded on my playlist. I'll give you that link below in the description bar. And it's not just that you can just read and watch these videos and learn how Java works. You have to practice it around, right? You can't do it all just by reading and learning. So these are two practice IDEs I have given where you don't have to set up Java at all, and you can actually directly go to these links and you can directly run your Java code. So I'll show you how. The first, just a second. The very first IDE is Idea 1, and I haven't been promoted, I haven't get any money out of it. It's just that I have been out there on the internet and I can say that these are the links where you can easily code, and basically I don't have any copyrights for that. So this is IDE. Here you can write your code and these code will run, and basically these many languages are available on this particular IDE. So it includes C, C++, C Sharp, Java, Pascal, Ruby, Python, PHP, and many more. So this is one of the best IDE I actually recommend when you are trying to try your Java code, but you are not in a mood to set the Java up for you. The second IDE, which is not that common, is CodeChef. So I'll show you how it works. Basically, it's nothing but a simple IDE. This simple IDE is where you can, this is something you are not aware, right? Because there are so many options. C, C++, Java, Python, PHP, similar to the one before. But for Java, you can just select your Java here. This is something similar, right? Something similar to IDE I've shown you before. So this IDE, again, you can write your code here and you can run your code and you can see the output here. So this was all about the backend language, that is Java, which you should know when you are trying to have a development hand on the backend. The second language that I'm going to show you here is Angular. So again, Angular is something, one of my favorite language. That is why I've shown you here. You can also go for React. It's completely your choice. But I prefer Angular more because it's much more interactive and user friendly. React is just a library and you will find it difficult. So I have many of the tutorials being presented here for you. You can go through that, or else again, this is a site which is Angular documentation, nothing copyrighted. This Angular documentation is very well technically explained how Angular works, how flows works, how configurations are there. But again, if you are more of a video person, please go to the link I've shown you before. Secondly, again, Angular is nothing you can just learn just by seeing. You have to practice it around. So for practicing, I've given you one of the link, that is codesandbox.io. So why do I recommend this particular site is because in this particular site, you have many of the code being already written for you. See, this is a folder structure created for you completely. This is package.json, you don't have to create it. This is my app folder and much of the code is already written. What I have to do is to just modify this code and try to run my code. You can provide routings here, you can do whatever you like, and you can see your result here in the right pane. So in the left pane, everything is done for you. In the middle one, you can make changes and you can reflect those changes in the right pane. So that is why I just love this particular site, because I don't have to do the complete Angular setup, which is actually a bit hectic one. But if you are good with that, you can please follow the my playlist where I've shown you how to set up and try that. but you want to try something, please try here. If you don't want to set up at all. The third language or the programming thing I want to share with you is SQL. So this is something related to databases. And if you, like, trust me, if you are on the third pace, you have learned Java, that is a backend language. If you have learned React or Angular, which is the front end language, and if you have learned the databases, then you actually become yourself an eligible candidate for full stack developer position, as you can code both in front end as well as in backend, and you can actually handle databases also, where you can set the data or get the data, and hence you are a very eligible candidate for full stack development. So for SQL, I always prefer, for the basics, you can go for just for the basics, but remember, it's only and only for the basics. You won't find very hardcore stuff here. This is a SQL W3 schools where you can learn and exercise again, because select staff or customer, you can show answers, you can hide answers, you can submit your answer, and you can work like that into it. So this is how SQL works for you. Here you can learn as well as implement. So this is both the way to learn as well as way to practice. There's one more very good site where you can practice your complex SQL queries, is this particular site, sqlzoo.net, and I prefer this more over World W3 schools, because this is very easy and very outfront type of IDE, where I can just write my query and I can see my results here in the tabular form. So I prefer this more over the W3 schools. So just try to learn everything from W3 schools and try to implement over sqlzoo.net. So with these three languages, you will become full stack developer. And now whatever I'm going to tell you about the other two technologies are nothing but your enhancement in your skills. The next is the Python. Python is nothing but a very important language when it comes to machine learning, data science, because this is a language which is very easy compared to Java or any other languages, and you can do very much big magical stuffs out there with this Python language. Just importing one particular package, you will be able to implement random algorithms available for machine learning. That is why I say that Python is a language which is going to be the real language which is out from there for you to learn. So this is a particular site where I would always suggest that you can learn from here. It's a very good site. You can have all your syllabus, your syntaxes, the console outputs, the functions, loops, and everything in a very simple way, where you can learn and have a very much insight into Python. But learning Python is again a different thing, and implementing it is again a very different thing. So the site I've shown you, this site is nothing but a way to learn also and way to implement also. So you can try here, you can just edit it, and you will be able to into syllabus, and you will be able to even practice your Python here. I suggest two more sites for the same. So these two sites are nothing but the same I've shown you for Java. I've already told you that with the options you can find not even Java but also Python, Java, Python, Pascal, PHP. So this is Python, this is Python C, this is Ruby, even SQLite, even C, C++. So this is IDE1.com, which is a universal site for your practicing things. So Java and Python, I suggest these two sites again, IDE1 and the CodeChef1. These two, both the sites are very nice. So this was how you can learn Python, and you can try and open Python files, whatever you can save your files, you can keep it as a demo project ready for you. So that was all about Python, and take me by my words, this is a future of the programming language, because this language is something which is very easy to implement but is very powerful when it comes to machine learning and implementing various kinds of algorithms associated with machine learning and everything. So remember, after learning three programming languages, I always prefer people learn the Python languages. The last languages which I would recommend learning in this quarantine period is JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. This is nothing but an enhancement to your front end skills, because many a times when you try to go to give an interview on Angular, they will always ask like what is the base for your knowledge. So the base for your Angular knowledge will always remain JavaScript, because at the end your Angular always gets converted into the JavaScript language. And again, you always need HTML, CSS in your Angular project to make your UI look very beautiful and very attractive. So for JavaScript, I'll give you this site. This site is very good when it comes to learning JavaScript. You can always learn the Hollywood programs, the basic fundamentals, the data types, and advanced working. So this is something which is very important to learn all these concepts when you are trying to learn JavaScript. The nice site for learning HTML CSS is again W3 Schools, because this is something, W3 Schools is something which is related to very basics things. So I won't recommend learning JavaScript from here because it's not that basic around, but learning HTML CSS is good with W3 Schools. You can even practice it around here. The way to practice your and JavaScript or HTML CSS code is CodePen. So if you see CodePen, this is where you can write your HTML. This is where you can write your CSS. This is where you write your JavaScript. So this is front end coding platform where you can write your HTML also, CSS also, and JavaScript, and you can actually see your results. So this is one of the best site I find out there on the internet available for coding in JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. The last but not the least, the last site for coding for JavaScript, CSS, and HTML is this. Here you write your HTML code, here you write your CSS code. You can actually make it run when you sign in and save your projects where you write in this fiddle. So this fiddle is something you can run from here, you can save from here. So remember the saving part, because if you make a very good demo project out of it, after a few days you will forget it out, right? So just make sure that you just save it from here, like as in whenever you want to make it again, or you don't have to make the whole work again, you can just import it from here. This is the one of the most biggest advantage of JS Fiddle. So I hope that was all about the languages I want you to make sure that you use in this quarantine period, and I hope you learn the few languages I've shared you here and make the best use of this time. Please like and share and subscribe if you haven't done yet, and let's meet in the next video soon. Thank you.